Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Doctor Whomst. I'm Matt and I'm here along with...
Tristan.
And today we are talking about three things actually that are very important. The first is Legend of the Sea Devils, the newest Doctor Who special. A little bit late as always, but we're still going to have a good time either way. The second is that I recently had oral surgery on my
Yes.
oral. On my oral, right in the mouth. It hurts. I feel better than I did on Thursday last week, which we recorded the podcast relatively well in advance that I was fine. But yeah, now I'm feeling iffy. I feel better than I did yesterday. Tristan and I tried this yesterday. I was talking to you on the phone, Tristan, and maybe like 5-10 minutes in, I was like, "Oh, this lovely conversation is turning into pain."
I have pain. Daleks do not feel pain.
But I'm human, as far as we all know. And so I was in pain. But thankfully, we're doing it today, and I'm in significantly less pain. If you and I have to pause, Tristan, for me to take some meds, we're going to do that.
Ahoo.
Yeah. And the third thing is that we made a joke last week that now is actual merch on our merch page on our T Public that is linked down below. Right, you remember that joke about the Tristan said the phrase um we were talking about multiverses for some reason or multiple universes, and Tristan said something about eat my entire ass. So now we have a t-shirt and on the t-shirt it's you can search the good doctor on T Public for Dr. Muncher in the multiverse of ass eating. And sadly, it is not on sale anymore as it's past the 3 day mark. We are going to put another shirt up, though, by the time this podcast is out, called Doctor Depressed in the Multiverse of Sadness. And we hope you enjoyed that. Again, that'll be linked down below by the time this episode is out.
You're welcome.
Either this is going to be really fun. We don't really talk about our merch page much. We have some other fun shirts there as well that you can definitely check out. We'll be releasing some more merchandise as we say stupid things from now on. Even some other stuff that we've said in the past that's really stupid. Some of that might go on a shirt. By the way, I said t-shirt. I should also clarify. Dr. Muncher in the multiverse of ass eating is also on hoodies, phone cases, mugs, laptop cases,
Oh
pillows, and pins.
my God.
So please understand, if you want a mug with the word ass eating on it, be wary. It is censored. The ass is censored. But it's pixelated. It's fun.
You could just Sharpie it in. It'll.
You can, yeah. We recommend that you use a Sharpie to write the word ass on all of the merchandise that you buy from us.
Maybe not all of it, but
No,
some of it.
just go to town with ass. Anyway,
All right.
point is that that will never be taken out of context. I
Oh, definitely not.
definitely not. No. But either way, thank you all for listening. We are already starting from a place of a lot of confusion, I think, for Tristan, right?
Oh, this is a place.
Yeah, no, I wish I could tell you that it's the medication, but it's very, very
It's not.
mild. No, it's very mild medication. So either way, though, we are talking about Legend of the Sea Devils. I did not enjoy this at least as much as I enjoyed Eve of the Daleks. I think I got myself a little bit too hyped because of Eve of the Daleks being so good. And I also saw that there were pirate ships in the promotion for this episode, for this specific special, specifically an Easter special, by the way. I was under the impression that we were going to get more pirates, and I'm not upset that we got as many Sea Devil stuff as we got, but the pirate stuff was very much lacking when, we've normally when you hear pirates, you're thinking of people that are actually going around being pirates and stuff, when obviously due to the plot they set it up well that the woman by the name of Madam Ching, her crew, consisting of her two sons, were kidnapped. So it makes sense that, oh, that's why we're not seeing pirates. But to me, just looking kind of behind the curtain, it felt like a way to save money. Like, we're not going to see a large crew. We're just going to... And don't get me wrong, I'm happy having a smaller, intimate look at these characters. But at the same time, though, I thought we were going to see some swashbuckling. And I feel
Yeah.
like we didn't really get a lot of... We got, it's obviously it's Doctor Who. We're gonna get sci-fi, of course,
Yeah.
but
I mean, we did get a sword fight.
that is true, and I
Smaller
shouldn't.
crews, but we got a sword fight.
You know what? That is true. At
There
the end,
was
we
some
did.
swashbuckling.
There was, to be okay. So look, 2 out of 10 swashbuckling would recommend.
Okay.
Um, there was some, yes, and I'm not saying it's a bad special necessarily. What I was under the impression though was I was, again, this is also probably me hyping myself up. I was under the impression we were going to be solidifying both the Doctor and Yaz's feelings for each other,
Yeah.
and in not doing that and only saving literally, I could swear to God, 5 minutes at the end. They made reference during, but like at the end with the both of them, to only dedicate what really was, I'm pretty sure, 5 minutes or less to this.
Yeah,
And
like
then,
they had moments here and
yeah,
there
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about it,
yeah,
but
of course.
yeah, the actual like so what are we discussion was at the very end.
There is only one more special left, and my fears that I mentioned, the
Yeah.
fears that I mentioned in Eve of the Daleks, are becoming more and more true. Where there, I mean, it's funny. There was one thing that I didn't think would happen. At least I don't believe I thought this would happen. It's been a bit since we recorded, and I went through some oral surgery, wisdom teeth removed. It was painful. Eventually, they knocked me the hell out.
Pain.
Yeah, eventually, yes. So I did not expect them to potentially have drama before and after, because here's the thing: if they have no drama after, if the doctor and Yaz say that they love each other or something similar, like we want to be with each other forever, then the doctor regenerates, and then there's no drama afterwards with Yaz saying, but you're not the doctor I fell in love with, or something like that. If that doesn't happen, bravo, I'm all here for that. However, I'm under the impression that because it's, a story, we're watching a TV show, this is a way to tell stories, and drama is a way to tell stories. I'm
Yeah.
under the impression that they're not going to do that. They're going to lean into the drama, which is something that I'm not interested in, especially going and coming. It has to be one or the other, before or after. And if they're going to have it both, before and after, just not really interested in any of that personally. That's why I feel weird about Doctor and romance. One of the reasons why. Tristan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I know the Doctor has always had kind of a, whenever a love life, quote unquote, has come up in the Doctor's many lifespans, it's always been sort of a tragic thing.
At least
It
with the
never
companions. Normally it's
Right.
used as a comedic effect for either historical figures or
Right.
or random other people. It's usually
Yeah.
built up for comic effect.
Right. So you're
Yeah.
right with companions specifically.
Yeah, and it's mostly new stuff because it used to be in Classic Who, it would mostly just be unrequited. The assumption that maybe the companion is into the Doctor, depending, not always, of course, but depending.
Right. Yeah.
That there might be something there. It would come up from time to time. But it was always, I would argue, from what I've seen and from what I've read, unrequited until Doctor and Rose, and then that's where the
Right.
tragedy strikes that you're referring to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked it if they would have built it up quicker, sooner, so that they would have more time to establish and explore Yaz and this incarnation of the Doctor's relationship. Or I guess in the reverse, having the Doctor spell out these feelings sooner, of being like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to, but every time I do, the idea that you're human and we're just gonna say Time Lord because it's easier. You know, you will turn to dust and I will still be here, and it's too painful now. And like, if we were gonna go down that road, we should have just had that happen sooner. I feel like.
Yes, I feel like it's happening, because it's happening towards the end. Look, I get it. We're watching a TV show, etc., etc. But the thing is, because we're watching a TV show, like I mentioned last time, the idea that you kind of, like in real life, Yaz going, oh, I'd never really realized, that makes sense in real life. And again, it also makes sense in the form of a TV show too. But the fact that they even said the Doctor reciprocated, that's something that never really, came up. And I mentioned this last time. I do have to go back and watch earlier seasons of the 13th Doctor because Tristan, you mentioned that there was a little bit of stuff like potential not necessarily foreshadowing, but just like little hints that the two of them might be interested in each other, at least on Yaz's side, and I find that amazing, so I do want to go back and check it out. But because it has been so, just kind of small hinted at, and now we're really getting at it, and we only have one special left, it doesn't, it's not hitting the beats that I think they're trying to hit. For me, at least personally, I want to be invested in these two. I want them to be together. I never thought of ever shipping them or anything. It didn't click to me to do that because, again, I feel weird about the Doctor in general with relationships. But if you're gonna do it, then okay, let's do it. But it always, because it's Doctor Who, because it's television, because it's a drama in some respects, they always go the dramatic route, and then that is the thing, the key that makes me just go, no.
Right.
And and you too, by the way, you're not someone who's anti relationship in film or TV show or whatever. It's always either it's too fast, i.e., let's say it's a film and they've known each other for 15 minutes and they're just like, I love you. And it's like, what? Or the reverse, it's just a complete drama. And I know that you're not a big fan of, those kind of relationship drama stuff. But that's not all what this special was, of course. Again, it was only 5 freaking minutes. The rest of it, I have to say, I really did enjoy, what they were doing, bringing back a classic Doctor Who villain. I enjoyed that. What I was thrown off by initially, it got better as it went on, but did you notice at first that it felt very much like they were trying to potentially either save money on the budget or something going on? Because they were cutting very quickly between shots of the Sea Devil initially. In the first 5-10 minutes, they were not focusing on the Sea Devil at all. It was the fastest cuts I've ever seen on something. So quick, and not quick there's a very quick energy to everything going on. It feels there's a lot of energy here. No, it was just they didn't want us to actually see this, the actual Sea Devil. And I wondered why, and I have a theory. Later on when we see them, especially on the ship, their eyes don't move like they did in the beginning. Did you notice in the beginning their eyes were moving like the Sea Devils? The first Sea Devil we saw, its eyes, it was blinking.
Huh.
Okay, so you didn't notice this.
I mean, if I did, I didn't really think that hard about it.
The reason why I did is because the reason why I thought hard about it for some reason is because I was like, why are they moving so quickly between these shots? And I'm like, why don't they want us to focus on this Sea Devil? And I went back just to at least watch the first 5 minutes to really absorb it all, because it felt like it went by so fast. And then later on when I saw them on the ship, I was like, why aren't they blinking? And I was like, oh my god, they didn't want us to focus too much on them early on. Maybe they wanted to get through quickly so they can put all the money into it later, because looking at it early on, it was blinking, it was doing all this cool shit that they didn't really do much later on. They mostly just kind of went swashbuckling with swords. But early on, it was doing a bunch of crazy shit. It was a Power Rangers villain early on.
Right.
It jumped from...
Oh god, yeah, even the sword kind of reminds me of Power Rangers villains. That's funny.
And by the way, I fucking love Power Rangers. At least when I was a kid. Now I like Super Sentai. Power Rangers not so bad, but I love the Japanese stuff a bit more. But so I'm not knocking it. It was like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but early on, it was done in a way where they were using CG and stuff, especially him jumping from the land to the ship.
Right. Yeah.
That they basically just didn't do. I mean, even when the Doctor was jumping from one ship to another, they didn't even show her and Yaz really on the actual ropes until they were on the ship.
On the ship itself.
And even then, when they went back from one to another, it was so funny because the way they went back, they just completely straight up didn't show them. They just did voiceover, and I was like, wow.
I think they had to use a lot of it for the boat effects and the ship appearing and disappearing, a little bit for the Sea Devil's face animating a bit when it spoke.
Yes.
and yeah, like teleporting from the sea floor to back to the ocean top. Like there were a lot of effects that they kind of had to put that more towards. So some things kind of had to go fall to the wayside, I guess.
Yes. Also, by the way, love me some Dan.
the
Can't get enough
fact
of that Dan.
the fact that Yaz and Dan still have like just the back and forth of like, well, she told me I could dress up like this. It was to blend in. She's like, you're not now. You're blending in too much, almost to the point of you're sticking out again.
I love that Yaz was like, Dan, I was fucking with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I have to spell that out.
And then like later on, she's like, what do you mean I had to watch him? He's a grown ass man. What do you want me to do?
But that's what's really funny. Like
Oh,
it didn't hit me when he first appeared. Obviously, he was an older guy, right?
yeah.
It didn't hit me how old he was until, and old he wasn't. Like how young and old
Yeah.
he was at the same time when he was talking to
Because
the
I was gonna
younger
say,
guy.
careful, Matt. We're getting into our territory here.
No, he's in his 40s. I thought he was
Yes.
older. Not significantly older, but like at
Yeah.
least a few years older. He's 42. I'm like, wow, you look older.
Well, I love the joke they make with the kid looking at him
Yeah.
like, must be in your 70s.
Oi,
Ahoy!
I'm 42. And I was like, wait, you're only 42? Not gonna lie. No, because his hair and it's just his face in general.
That's
he
true,
looks
yeah.
wise. They made him look
I mean-
wiser than. No, because
I feel like Dan is wise in his own ways.
no, but I'm saying he looks wise. Like he looks
Yes.
like he could play an older wizard or something.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I thought. Like look, don't get me wrong, everyone. There are people listening to this right now that are probably telling me to go fuck off. Please understand. Tristan and I are 29. We are getting older. Okay, we get it. All right, 30 coming up this year. All right, so that's gonna be a fun day. But what I'm getting at is Tristan, please. He's having an anxiety attack. Tristan, please. Tristan.
This
it's okay.
is not living. This is sickness.
It's fine. We're all good. We're all having a great time here. Fuck. Oh God, my mortality. Anyway, so the point is that yes, we are getting older, but like we still look a little bit young, and we've seen people who look like in their 40s who don't look like Dan. No,
Right.
like Dan looks older. Like when he
Yes.
said 70s or 60s, I was also Dan. I was like, hey, come on. But I was
Right.
expecting Dan to be like in his late 40s even. And he's like, I'm 42. And I'm like, really? Because when you first see Dan, he doesn't look as old as he does right now. I don't know. Like, there was something about, maybe it was the outfit wasn't flattering him, the pirate outfit.
Mm.
But when we first saw Dan, he seemed young and chipper.
Well, I mean, he's also been through a lot of shit too. So.
That's what's really funny. Just like
I mean,
living in the 1910s for a few years really makes you look a little bit older by the time you're out of it.
yeah, and watching the whole universe fall apart, and then having your date at the time be like, maybe we should not talk for a bit.
And guess what? She answered. She called him
Yeah,
back.
no, that was nice.
That- my
I'm
heart's-
glad they
yeah.
they at least like she's like, you know what? Maybe I was a little too, a lot happened. I'm sorry. I needed some time to internalize that. It's like,
And-
you know what? Fair.
No,
Understandable.
I think we said that. We were like, if she only had said that at the time, but
Yeah.
they probably just didn't have the time to do it because like they had to cut they had to
Yeah.
cut episodes from the runtime of the special overall, and Chibnall still wanted to include all the fucking plots that he included. Ergo, yeah.
Yeah, well, they played it off like she was like, you were gone, and you didn't come back. He's like, the whole universe is tearing itself apart.
Yeah, like what do you do? But
Like, no,
yeah.
it should have been just like, look, a lot's happened right now. I don't know if I can really go out right now. I need to think about existence.
and here we are, and she did.
And that, right, and like that would have, I feel, played over a bit better. Like, all right, understandable. Fair enough. But yeah, here we are. So at least one relationship may or may not be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm happy about. At least something went well. everyone lived other than the person who wasn't supposed to live in the first place, which was I assume he's a historical figure.
Oh yeah, the other famous Chinese pirate of legend.
Well, that's the
Uh
interesting thing. I say this because Madame Xing is actually a famous pirate of legend,
right.
and the Fleur de la Mar is quote unquote real, i.e.,
Right.
it is something that people were looking for that did sink to the sea,
Right. Okay.
allegedly. I
Right.
don't know if it's one of those legends. No, it seems to have been legit. Okay. So yes, these are actual things. Like this is another 13th Doctor historical episode to a certain extent. To a
Right.
certain extent.
Yeah, it's pirate legends.
Yes. But I don't know if Ji-hoon. Okay, no,
Right.
so allegedly he did exist.
Okay. Yeah, so
Seemingly.
he's another
I
legend,
was
right?
I was confused because he didn't have his own. It's gonna sound so silly, but we're talking about this as we're talking about it. He didn't have his own Wikipedia page, so like that made me go, wait. It says you're a legendary sailor. Are you part of the show? Like were
Right.
you made for this show?
Right. Were
To
you made for
search
the show,
for
or were you actually a historical figure?
yes,
Right.
because the
No, that's fair.
treasure is quote unquote real. But I don't know if he himself as a sailor
Right.
is quote unquote real or
Okay.
if he is just a legend. Either way, the point is that I did love the plot of this episode overall. Like I enjoyed what they did with these characters. Obviously, it's funny. Obviously, he had to die because again, he was supposed to have died so long ago
Right. Yeah.
that it never would have made sense that he died, that he would live and just
Right.
chill with everyone else. However, I have to say though, and it's not they didn't mean to do this, it wasn't meant to be funny, but you have the doctor and you have Yaz, and Yaz is like, no doctor, you can't sacrifice yourself, and she's like, but I must. Like they were talking about being like potentially in love with each other, little tiny hints, right?
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere it just cuts to him coming and just being like, hi, so
I'll take the L. You
uh,
go, fam.
you love each other. If that's even is that a thing that happens? I don't know. I've been asleep for so long. It was so strange. Not that he wouldn't sacrifice himself. That's fair. That I expect. The way they did the camera shot, like
Yeah, he did just kind of pop into frame.
Thank
Like
you.
I'm a convenient plot device. I can die for you too.
and I was like, wow, this is
Whoa.
so. I was like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, all right then.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, I feel like it was more like he prefaced it with like I'm not I've been out of this world for so long that it doesn't make sense for, the two of you who are obviously important to it somehow because you're trying to save the world.
No.
Basically.
I agree. It wasn't
that
bad.
he's like, I will do this,
No, it makes sense. To
Yeah,
me, all of
it
it
was
makes
just kind of
sense.
funny.
Just because of the way they cut in. I assume they had to obviously you have to wrap it all up. Everything has to you have to every second counts.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's just what it was. They were just like, look, this is what we have. This is what we're gonna do to make the action fast paced, and we already had to slow it down for the two of them to talk to each other. Let's have him show up. He was just with Dan. They're fine. Yada yada.
Right. Yeah.
It all makes sense, but it just made me laugh because like we both have said, the way he cut it. Now, I'm trying to look for him, and I'm not finding anything on him other than him being in Doctor Who.
Huh. Okay.
So, I am a bit confused. If anyone knows anything about this pirate, please comment down below. I would love to see some links and stuff and read up on him, but I'm not finding anything, so I'm under the impression that he specifically was made for the show. But again, the madam is 100% a real historical figure. Watch me click on this, and she turns out to be Robin Hood. She does seem to have been a legit historical figure, which is awesome.
Right.
And she was a Chinese pirate leader who was active in the South China Sea from 1801 to 1810. So where did
9 years.
Yeah, where did this take place? Like what?
I
forgot
pretty
the date.
sure it was the South China Sea.
No, that I know. I meant the date. I don't remember. I'm wondering if
Oh,
it was in 1801.
Yeah, it was. It might have actually been 1901. I can't remember. The date like flashed across the screen as the TARDIS was landing. I just don't remember exactly.
Oh, it was 1807.
Ah, okay, there we go.
Okay, interesting. 1807. So then, yeah, she had a few more years to travel with the boy before there was no more traveling.
Right.
I don't know what happened in 1810, and I don't want to look it up. I just want to assume that she retired nicely. Because
Yeah,
that's what pirates do. They're
because
just
that's what
like, you know what?
pirates do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just like they're
exactly.
just chilling. They're just chilling. They're like, you know
Just
what?
gonna get to retire happily with my family with no strings attached whatsoever.
I mean, literally, her son has one less ear now. But like, other than that, they're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which again made sense because it was much more intimate to have all of them just like talk to each other and not have a huge crew to introduce and stuff. But
Right.
at the same time, though, again, I feel a little gypped on the pirate stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do want to mention as well is that I do like some of the sci-fi bits. I love the Doctor being clever, being very much like this is one of those times where I was like, wow, like not that Jodie Whittaker didn't feel like the Doctor at times. I don't like that kind of. I'm not really a big
Talk.
fan of that kind of discussion. Yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of talk.
Right.
But seeing this episode, I was like, wow, like you are the Doctor through and through. I can't imagine anyone seeing this and being like, that's not the Doctor. Like the way she was like deducing things and stalling and kind of being my favorite line was when Yaz was like, you're like a child sometimes, and she was like, only sometimes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines from her as the Doctor is, oh, only sometimes. Really? Like I was like, that's great. Like she was killing it in this episode. And again, Dan was as well. He was like, the John Bishop, the actor, is a comedian. And
Yeah.
so, he was supposed to be showing off his comedy chops. And sometimes, especially early on in the Flux, I was like, I don't know about the comedy. But I think he really, he's a really funny actor in this role as Dan. And I think this
Right.
was an episode that really solidified that with him and the character Yin Ki. Yeah, Yin Ki, who's the guy, the younger guy, who is
Yeah.
just eventually becomes a crew member for Madam Ching's crew, who again I'm assuming he also retires nicely. Although again I don't know if he's a real person. I'm assuming he was also made just for the episode for obvious reasons. But also, by the way, directed. Well, the special was written by Ella Rhode, who I don't know what else she has done. It says that she's a British screenwriter, playwright, and actor.
She wasn't the writer for Eve of the Daleks, was she? Was that just Chibnall?
No, it wasn't just Chibnall. It was someone else as
There
well.
was a new writer
There was
on that as
yes,
well.
yes,
But
yes, yes. I mentioned I told you that she had done some other stuff, mostly smaller stuff.
yeah, like
Which
TV specials.
yes, no, like short films.
Right,
And so,
short films.
and
Yeah.
I fucking loved her take on Doctor Who. In this case, Ella Road, nothing that I'm super familiar with. A lot of stuff in the UK, and when it came to the director, however, it was really cool. Hao Lu Wang, and so I don't know too much about her. She's a Chinese writer director based in London, and she let's see, I'm wondering if she's done anything that I know about. Probably not, but I think it was really cool, especially because even though sorry everybody, had to take a face break there for a second, but still that's a weird sentence, it's a weird word, but point is that when it comes to this new director, I was so happy to see her because when it comes to telling stories about other cultures, one of the things that people miss when telling those stories is actually getting someone from that culture in the room. And so I'm not saying that this special would have been worse if there wouldn't have been a Chinese director. I'm just saying that when you tell stories about other cultures, especially how Doctor Who can do from time to time, when you're telling stories about real world cultures, real life, and you're going back in time, it's always good to potentially bring on either a writer, a director, or both, and have them in the room making decisions on how things are shot, etc., as the special or episode or whatever it might be goes on. Because what I notice a lot is people talking so much about diversity, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, let's have diversity. Tristan, you write something about the Hispanic experience," and it's like, Well, I don't know if Tristan knows about that, but it's diverse
Yeah.
because but it's diverse because someone says, "Well, he's not writing about white people, so it's diverse." And it's like, "No,
Yeah, no,
not
not.
really.
Mm,
No." So, like it seems diverse on the surface, but then all you have to
right,
do is just kind of remove the surface and
right.
then bam, dinosaur. I want to see the new Jurassic World kind of. I don't know. I've been seeing trailers. And I've been thinking of you, Tristan, every time. We've done every movie on the podcast. I've been thinking of you every time. So I don't want to see it in theaters, though. I'm not going to fucking do that.
Fair enough.
But I do want to see it in some capacity because the last one I did not like it. So I'm wondering if this is going to like redeem it because it's the end of the trilogy or
I
not.
doubt it. For you, at least.
Oof. Have you seen it or no? Is it even out yet?
I haven't seen it. No,
It's
but
out
like
though, right?
no, this weekend.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Point is that you just remove the surface and then bam, dinosaurs. But no, like I just say this as someone who's Hispanic. I just see like people talking about so much diversity, and then it's not a diverse cast and crew on
Right.
like part, who are a part of the project.
Right.
So I liked that in this case, we pretty much like the only people that were not of Asian descent were our cast and crew coming in. Our doctor and Yaz and Dan, and there wasn't like one person there who's like, "Boy, howdy, I'm white and I'm confused." Like
Right.
none of
Yeah.
that. Like arguably that was Dan, but again, already part of the crew,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it was fine. So
Part of the time traveling
yes,
crew.
part
Yeah.
of the time traveling crew. Yeah. So that's, and also I just, again, like you mentioned earlier, I fucking loved his outfit. It was so like it wasn't just a pirate. It was like go to the costume shop pirate.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they deliberately got that for the actor to look as ridiculous as possible and sell it.
Right.
And that's why I say that I really enjoy his comedic chops, and he really brought as
Yeah,
much as he could into this
I
special.
feel like his actor must have loved that.
It was just so fun.
Yeah.
Especially because I thought he was genuinely going to change, and then he just didn't. He
Oh,
looked like
right.
that.
Yeah,
the
he just stayed in
entire
the entire
episode.
episode.
I was like, oh, okay. So that was really funny. But yeah, anything else you want to say, good or bad? We're not gonna wrap it up just yet, but just wanna. I've been talking a lot, especially with my face, but talking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the fact that we brought a classic Who villain in, and this is the Sea Devil's like second or third appearance ever since.
I'm pretty sure it's the second, and we talked about it last time. The third Doctor
Right.
that you and I saw a while. Well, I saw it farther back than you did. I was in college. You saw it.
Right.
They did a Twitch marathon.
Yeah, the summer Twitch stream.
How did
a few years
did
back.
you watch that? Did they like replay them at any point, or were you just like, I
Yeah.
guess I'm missing these if they're at 3 a.m?
Yeah, like every few hours they would do repeats. Yeah, it was a packed schedule, but
Okay, but good. They would do repeats because I'm like, what happens if you just miss them if you're at work? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, oh well, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't think they did do repeats. Now that I think of it, I think it was just like that entire Doctor's run was like for that week or that half of the week, and then the next would be the next Doctor's. So you just kind of caught what you caught.
Oof.
Yeah.
Which you did. You were very interested in catching early
I
Doctors.
tried to, but I think we also mentioned last time, like at some point, it doesn't matter how much you enjoy a specific like medium or show or whatever. At some point, like you kind of have to go and do something else because it's just too much in one sitting.
Yes, that happens to me with pro wrestling. It's currently happening to me as I'm taking a bit of a break. This is the first time we recorded since I think literally the podcast last week, which for me, normally I'm always doing something vocally or on camera. So for me, I was trying to take a break. Even editing, I'm trying to take a break. And so I'm watching a lot of pro wrestling that I'm behind on. And when you're watching hours and hours and hours of this stuff, you love it, but you do have to take a bit of a break. And so I'm taking a break to do work. Go figure. But this is still fun either way, but still. So when it comes to that, yes, you have to take a break, but also just how older classic Who was plotted. It wasn't made to be binged at all.
Yeah, no.
No, it was
is not binge friendly.
No, you were made to watch 1 or 2 episodes a week and then you lived your life until the next time they aired the next episode of Doctor Who.
Right.
And they would tell their story, instead of it being, yes, there are seasons, but they would still tell one story in, let's say, 6 to 12 parts. And so you're watching 25-minute episodes. And when you watch all of those episodes for either 6 of them or up to 12 of them, you have now completed the story. Congratulations, you've passed go, move on to next story.
Right.
And that was so it's fascinating that they went with the Twitch route, I guess, to like drum up some interest. I assume if you saw this a while ago on Twitch, it was probably an anniversary of some kind for Doctor Who that they did.
Yeah,
for.
I don't even remember why they were doing it. I just remember hearing about it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to watch this.
Yeah, I watched them back in the day, back when there was no, or very, very few legal ways to get it, especially not in the U.S. I think there were 0 ways to get it in the U.S. legally.
Yeah.
I saw it on my PSP, which was
Right.
modded. I forgot to mention that last time, but I'm hopefully it makes people aware. Yes, it was modded. And I threw the files onto there, and I watched them while on my way to college every day, because the commute was about 40 minutes to an hour. So every day I would just watch some Doctor Who.
Nice.
And I think that's how I watched the first Doctor. Yes, there were some missing serials, but the first Doctor all the way to the 4th. And then that's when I fell off because, again, wasn't meant to be binged, and I was binging. And
Right.
so, it definitely wasn't. It was arguably, it's funny, we're talking about it being like an older concept, but arguably the Flux did something similar. Having all of them wrap up for 6 episodes. But honestly, 6, like nowadays having a TV show do that is normal. But again, that's like, it was still done differently because like you're tying all these plots together and everything, but you can still make them in a way where they could be binge friendly even still, right? But again, Classic Who, not meant to be that way. So it definitely takes its toll on you. And I'm pretty sure they only appeared once. I'll look it up right now, but please continue gushing about the Sea Devils.
Yeah, I also really like the concept of having other sentient beings, like they were talking about, like, oh, we have claim to the planet, like we were here first. And I remember them doing that with Silurians. Yeah. The lizard people in the earth.
Yes, which was funny. I'm pretty sure at the time. It didn't happen to me because I was new to Doctor Who at the time, because my first Doctor, technically, other than like 5 seconds of flipping through channels and seeing Doctor Who on Sci-Fi Channel, back before I think it was even SYFY, I think it was literally like Sci-Fi. The full word with like the purple logo, the Earth behind it or something. I'm pretty sure I saw 5 seconds of Tennant scrolling through a book or something, and I was flipping channels. I was like, I don't know what this is, so I kept on going, because it was smack in the middle of the episode. So, other than that, my first Doctor was 10. So when I saw the Silurians, I thought, oh, cool. Then later on, maybe a year or two later, as I was looking it up, people were like, man, I really wish that I love the Silurians, but really wish it were the Sea Devils. And I was like, what in the fuck are those? Because people were like, oh man, I wonder. But yeah, so either way, though, Warriors of the Deep. Oh, and Silurians, technically they were bringing them back. I think the Silurians Silurians did appear in older, in Classic Who. So
Yes.
they were bringing someone back, but like people, to me, they were just brand new. But people were like, that's nice, but like, what about those Sea Devils, huh? And oh, by the way, I was right earlier because I looked it up last time. Warriors of the Deep, the 21st season, right? In 1984.
Wow.
The last time we saw the Sea Devils, which that's weird. For some reason I thought it was the third Doctor. Why did I think that? Maybe I saw the Silurians and I mixed them up with the Sea Devils.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
In the last episode I said it was the third Doctor. How did I not see that it was Peter Davison?
Right.
I have never seen the fifth Doctor, other than I saw when he did Time Crash with Tennant.
Right, yeah.
And they did the celery thing, but I actually have not seen the fifth Doctor. I've heard great things, though. But, Tegan. Interesting enough, Tegan's coming back, I believe. Tegan and Ace. They were in the teaser.
Yes, yes, they were. So yeah, friend of ours from the show, Anthony, was really he was really happy about hearing them coming back
Does he?
because
Yeah, he's seen it, or he's also because I know he's a big BBC, big Finish kind of guy.
yeah, yeah, he's seen a lot more classic Who than I have. Um, probably like up there with you, probably.
No, no, because
Uh,
remember I've only seen the
or
first four. So if
oh,
he's seen
okay,
past
or
it, then he's seen more than I
maybe
have.
even more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I know there's a lot of Big Finish audios that he's gotten. So yeah, he's excited to see those characters returning.
Some would say too many, but I wouldn't. But I would not say that. Does he listen to these? I feel like he should, but does he?
I mean, yes, maybe,
It depends.
possibly.
Well, I'll find out if I get a text on Thursday morning.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you?
I hear a buzz. I see Anthony. I'm like, oh man, it's so nice to hear from him again. Just how dare you? Oh
Dare you?
no.
Oh no.
I, what's even funnier is
You
because
have failed me for the last time.
we're recording this in advance, so there's also a very good there's a very good chance that I forget why he would be messaging me by the time he does. Oh no. But either way though, yeah. So this is a story that has not been, or rather, these are villains that have not been seen in a very long time. And I'm happy also because you mentioned as well, you know, the idea that these beings hold claim to the earth. That's actually not something we see a lot of. What we do see is beings saying, hey, guess what? We have claim to the earth. But they don't because they're aliens from space who are trying to enslave everyone, right? So, of course, you don't. But you kind of look at this, the Silurians and the Sea Devils, and you're like, is there a way you can coexist with humanity? But
Right.
then
Yeah.
depending on what happens, you know, a Silurian or a Sea Devil shoots first, and the doctor's like, look, I don't
Or
want to
a
kill
human
you.
does.
What?
Or a human does.
Well, yes, that happened in the Silurians episode
Yeah. I
with the
mean, because
Doctor. Yeah,
I was about to say
the
that
fifth series,
yeah,
11th Doctor.
humanity can't even coexist with itself, let alone another species entirely.
Oh, I know. I know. I didn't want to. I technically we're spoiling that episode, but it happened in the past and future, so whatever. It happened. Well, I didn't know the Doctor. I was a little. So this took me a second, and call me stupid or something, but I, when they went into the quote unquote past, to like look for like, oh, let's see where the ship was at the time, right? And
Right.
then we'll see those exact coordinates and we'll come back to the future. For some reason I forgot they were in 1804 or 1807 as the quote unquote future.
Right.
So when they're like, we're back in the present, it's like, wait, no, what? No, you're in the past present, right? Like I got thrown for a little bit of a loop because of how quick, like they took that little
A
brief
time
moment.
loop.
Yeah, haha. They took that little brief moment of marveling at the beauty of the
Oh
of
yeah,
the sea.
that
And
was actually really beautiful
it
too.
was, but I'm looking at
Just
two
to
of them.
take
I'm
that
like,
moment.
I'm looking at both of them. I'm like, Kith, Kith. I was like,
Yeah.
I want you two in love. But either way, though, it was a beautiful moment to take in. But then they go back to the present, and it literally took me a second to be like, wait, right? No, the present is 1807.
Yeah.
They're not in modern day because they were talking about it like they were in modern day, because to everyone other than the Doctor and Yaz and Dan, it is the modern day for them.
Right. Yeah.
But the tenses that they're all using, I was like, what? Oh no, yeah, you're still in 1807, because
Yeah.
the Doctor even said, I met you in the future, and I was like, what? And I was like, no, the present at the
Right.
time, which would, because I'm assuming the Fifth Doctor met them in the present, like at the present at the time, of course, 1984.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, no, never mind. He was in 2084. Fuck it, whatever. Fuck
Oh.
it. I have the serial open, Warriors of the Deep. I have it open.
Oh.
But no, actually, now that it's coming back to me, I did mix up the Silurians with the Sea Devils, because now I'm remembering the Third Doctor seeing the Silurians, and when he said the name, I was like, wait a minute. I remember you. You were, with the 11th Doctor. But no,
Right.
I never have seen the Sea Devils then. You have
I
not.
have not either. No.
You thought you did though.
Well, I knew that they were a classic Who villain because Anthony had told me about them, and he had
Okay,
said, "Oh, you're gonna love these guys. They're really cool. If you ever, you should really catch that serial if you can." I
right,
don't think he did, and I was like, "Shit."
right. So it's just me. So it's just me that made an ass of myself last time. That's funny.
Hey, I mean, whatever. It happens. It's fine. We love you anyway.
You sound so assured in that. It's so
Matt,
reassuring.
Matt is literally about to throw me overboard, like 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 the ancient pirate
To
dude
save
just
you.
did.
To save you. That's why. I'm holding your head
Yes,
under to save you.
to save me. Yes,
I'm holding your head under to save you.
right, exactly. Here, hide, hide in the ocean, Tristan. The sea devils will never find you there. But Matt, that's where they come.
You know what that reminds me of? It was I think it was actually from Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald. I think it was. But it was it was Kyogre and Groudon, two
Right, yeah.
Pokemon who, if anyone listening in doesn't know, Groudon is a Pokemon that resides on the ground. Kyogre, even though it flies, its domain is over the sea. Kyogre could fly, right?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure I
Kind-
could teach it fly.
like maybe, kind of. Yes.
But the point is that its domain is over the sea. And so
Right.
there was two sprites of them. Kyogre on this tiny patch of land that was as big as it was, a Groudon, standing
yeah.
on a patch of land that was as big as it was because, I mean, it's a huge Pokemon. It's a
Right.
legendary, so
Yeah.
it's a big deal Pokemon for anyone who doesn't know.
Just
And
don't look at the Pokedex entry.
Kyogre is water, and it's next to him on the patch of land, and there's an epic stare down of them. And I'm looking at this, and someone said, "Wow, this is the most uneven fight ever," because other than that small patch of land, it was
It's just
all
ocean.
water,
Yeah.
all ocean surrounding the Groudon that is a fire ground Poke. So when I sit here and I think of Tristan just be telling him, "Don't worry, they'll never find you in the water," as I'm dunking his head into the water. This is the most uneven fight I have ever seen.
That's about right.
Yes. So, which is what it would be if you and I fought. I would die. The most uneven fight any of you have ever seen.
I just gotta aim for your tooth that you're missing.
Wow. Aim for my missing tooth. You want me to go give you my dentist's want to go find him? You want to get all the information? You want
Yeah.
to go to
No. I gotta go back to the dentist, get the tooth from the dentist, give you back the tooth to put it back in your head so I can knock it out of you.
I fucking hate point and click adventure games so much.
Joke's on you. That's a new Doctor Who serial.
Doctor Who and the missing tooth. Tooth fairies are real and they hate you.
Oh no.
That sounds like something Doctor Who would do.
That sounds like a Red Nose Day event.
That sounds like something Moffat would write. Tooth fairies are real and they hate you.
And you love Moffat.
Well, no, that's not true. I love anything that he writes that involves time loopy shenanigans, weird stuff like that. Not loopy, but like timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, I know what I said.
No. Because he doesn't always do the best with the companions. Every companion almost every is potentially into the Doctor and then ends tragically and never wants to leave. And I'm just like, oh my God, please stop. Right. So no, there's a lot that I don't like about what he wrote over time. But when he writes stuff like Time Crash or Blink,
yeah,
I'm fucking into that.
Monster of the Week.
Yeah, some real good fucking monsters, yes. And some real good fucking weird timey-wimey shenanigans. I'm interested.
Right.
But either way, though, this special, again, it wasn't what I had hoped for, but that doesn't always mean that it's bad. I just think that the relationship stuff, I'm really worried with where it's going because we saw the teaser for next time, and it truly is the end. There is no getting around it. There is no maybe, maybe not. No.
But what if?
No what ifs. There's not going to be another, version of the Doctor to give to Yaz.
Right.
Like
oh,
with Rose.
God. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No.
that made me so angry. It wasn't even that there was an alternate version of the Doctor that was grown from his hand. It was just the fact that Rose is dead. I'm like, no, she's not. She's dead in the world that she came from, though. She's listed as dead. I'm like, but she's standing right there.
I love so much that you said the sentence. It's recorded. It's going out on internet.com. You said, it's not that he was a doctor that was grown from the Doctor's hand. It's not that. No.
Not that. No,
You're following
I was totally fine with that.
Totally fine with it. We have to go back and talk about older modern Who one day. Not today, but one day.
One day.
No, we should, because
in a time and place.
In a time and place at some point. Maybe in person. I don't know.
Maybe a pocket dimension. Who knows? It might have to be.
It might have to be. Yeah, we don't have any time
hey!
to do anything anymore. Hey, we're getting older. But either way, though, one more special, and then Jodie Whittaker's time comes to an end. It seems as if, in true End of Doctor fashion, every group that has ever hated the Doctor is coming out and going, hey, we're gonna fucking kill you. We've tried before, but this time we're gonna try together. Because it showed that there were some Daleks, there were some Cybermen.
Right, oh my god, for a split second I thought you were talking about the fan base.
I mean, no. I don't think so. I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of enemies that show up, and that usually is how it goes. Yeah, especially when you have an incarnation of the Master coming around and being like, hey, I'm gonna end your life this time. And I know I say that a lot, but this time I actually mean it.
What if this time I had a revolutionary idea? What if this time I actually do it? That's kind of like how the Master is. So, or Missy. So yeah, and what I really find frustrating is if they also end up killing off or regenerating this Master, because I'm happy that they didn't introduce him right off the bat. They gave Jodie some time to be her own Doctor with other people, and kind of just bring in potentially a new crowd. Kind of be a really good refresh for the Doctor. Right. At the same time, though, I really fucking love the new actor for the Doctor. I believe his first name is Sasha. I'm the Doctor, the Master.
The Master, yeah.
I believe his name is Sasha. I don't remember his last name off the top of my head. I'm gonna look him up. But I loved him in Iron Fist, and I love him as the Master. He's so fucking good. Sasha Dawan or Dewan. He's fucking amazing as the Master. He's just so delightfully evil. Like, he revels in it. It's a food for him. It's delicious.
Your tears are delicious.
But that's how he does it, though. Like, his first appearance, I go back and I watch that clip sometimes just for the hell of it. Because him saying, when she goes, oh, and he goes, yes, that's why I chose it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I chose that name. I'm like, oh my God. It's just, he's so good at what he does. Because when he was in Iron Fist, I don't know if you saw him as Davos, he was very serious, very when thinking of him as being the Master, you would think, oh wow, well, who would he be how would his take on the Master be? Would it be a classic, oh, I am the Master?
Right.
No,
yeah.
he's like a kid in a candy shop.
Right.
And I find that version
I'm
of the Master,
batshit and I'm gonna enjoy every second of this.
Yes. And I enjoy that because Missy was also batshit, but in a different way.
In a different way, yeah.
Yeah.
And so was oh god, he's
well, it's funny.
Gonna blank on the name too.
John Sim.
Yeah, John Sims.
Here's the thing though. Initially he was batshit when the regeneration first happened. Then I feel like even with his weirdo superpowers, he oddly, I don't want to say mellowed out, but like,
yeah, got a little bit more serious.
Yes. It's funny, I was about to say, he ran for president. You don't get to be batshit. Well, hold on.
Hang on.
Wait a minute, hold on. But no, he was the prime minister, I believe.
Yes.
Saxton.
Yeah, Saxton. Oh my god.
Yeah. So he had a mellow out in certain respects when you saw him, but then, when we saw him again, he was a bit off.
Yeah.
So I love that version of him too, seeing him with Missy. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But something that I just didn't expect. And when I heard rumors of it, I was like, this is bullshit.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
there's always rumors of shit like this. I was like, it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's not an anniversary year or something. It's not gonna happen. And then it just did. And I was like, oh. Because it's
Right.
not even like that was Moffat's. It's not like they had like two masters under Moffat or something. Like they brought like the master during Davies's era back.
Yeah.
And I thought that that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But either way, though, seeing Sasha Darwin as the master, I would hope he doesn't leave with, or if he does leave with this doctor, he returns in the next big special they do. That's the anniversary, the 60th year, absurdly.
Right.
60th year of Doctor Who.
Wow.
I don't know how the fuck that happened. If you asked me, oh, Matt, when was the 50th? I'd be like, oh yeah, that was a few years back, maybe like 4, maybe 5 years back. 10
Maybe.
years.
Maybe 10. I
would not say that. No, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
I would have said that stupidly and been like, yeah, it's the 60. We just had the Tristan. Why?
I would have fought you.
You would have fought me. You would have held my head underwater again.
Me and like 3 other me's would have showed up out of a fucking time machine. We'd have beaten the shit out of you.
Oh my god!
Can
And then
one of
3 other
me-
me's out of another time machine show up, and
Ooh.
then we just have a time war between the
Oh,
two of us.
that's really bad. Because one of me can't beat you up, but I think 4 of me could. But then 4 of you versus 4 of me, oof.
Well,
Hopefully
I mean,
some of those are really old versions of you.
I was gonna say, like, it's different incarnations of us, so like,
I'm
you know.
hoping at least 2 of you are really elderly. God, I'm hoping. God, I'm hoping.
It's okay, Matt. I'm sure with that big brain of yours, you could outsmart me.
I can only hope there's 4 of you. Either way, though.
I thought you were gonna be like, all right, you don't have to be facetious about it. I'm like, I wasn't.
No, I took that way more seriously than I should have. But
Oh, okay.
the point is that we should wrap up soon.
Have we hit that point? I think we've hit that
I
point.
think when we talk about 4 versions of us going head to head like it's fucking Anchorman, yes, I think we've gotten.
I think
to that
we've
point.
reached the point of the night where we need to wrap it up.
And so we shall. Anything else you want to say about the special, good or bad, before we wrap this up?
I mean, I had fun with it. It did feel like kind of an old. It even started like an old New Who episode of, you know, the big monster shows up, so we have a preface or an idea of what's about to happen, like what the Doctor is about to get into, and then the Doctor shows up and says, there's something weird here, and then goes and investigates, and then then they start to find out, like, oh shit, there's aliens. All right, we gotta do something about this.
So, fascinating thing to mention, little fun fact, these 2 episodes, while not obviously being a part of the Flux, were filmed in the same production schedule. So I only say that is as a way to mention if there were any little inklings of Yaz and the Doctor being into each other in the Flux, that definitely would continue into Eve of the Daleks, and then Legend of the Sea Devils, I would have hoped, because I heard this before I watched it, would have been the end of that trilogy, and then them getting together, and then the bad stuff happens in the next special.
Right.
But it seems like that didn't happen. But either way, though, yes, all 6 episodes of the Flux and these 2 were filmed in the same production bracket, which I find interesting. So I'm wondering what differences we're going to see maybe in their appearance, or in how much time has gone past between Legend of the Sea Devils and whatever the newest special is, especially as we don't know when it's going to happen. There's no... maybe there's some stuff in the rumor mill. Please don't spoil us on that. But as far as we know, nothing official has come out on when the next special is coming out. So is that... I mean, I hope it's not going to be another New Year's special.
That it would take that long?
That's why I said I hope it's not.
Right, yeah.
Because this one came out in April 17th, and we're talking about this in early June. Again, as timely as always. We're fashionably late, like the Doctor.
The TARDIS brought us to the exact point in time where we needed to deliver this podcast. So.
Not a sandy beach, sadly.
No, still didn't get that beach.
We should record a podcast on the beach. Why? Because fuck you, that's why.
Exactly.
We should.
Because why not?
Well, because why not? Who's going to stop us? there are probably not
The
any
alternate
laws
versions of ourselves.
telling us, no, you're gonna get some sand in the mic. You really don't want sand in the mic.
Yeah, you will destroy everything that you've built up until this point. Oh, wow. All right. What happens? You get sand in your microphone.
Tristan was right. We should end this. So, either way, love you all. Take care. Tune in next time. We're going to have some more fun merch up on our merch shop. Again, linking that down below, linking our TeePublic down below. Love you all. Take care. And tune in next time for something completely different. All right, everybody. So, see ya.
Goodbye.